just lying here on the floor. Cold towels, my feet against the door. How long have I been in this space? Arms over eyes, help me retrace. How did I become the doormat here? Memories spinning around my head seem pretty cavalier. Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's emotional. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me alone and thinking I'm the one to blame. From my heart has made it pretty clear. Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's emotional. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me alone and thinking I'm the one to
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your eyes don't deceive you. We are back in Japan for the Twin Ring Motegi Oval Course here tonight. The WSSR Rosa Gems Cup Series for Season 6, race number 7. The drivers want to test their skills at this remarkable oval course. It's Japan's version of Darlington, an oval-shaped course that is a little bit under 1.5 miles in length. Drivers here tonight are getting prepared for qualifying. Practice is done, qualifying's underway. We're excited to give you all the coverage here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Going to be joining me in a few moments. Going to be that of Robert Moyer Jr. Also will be covering the production tonight. Trevor Earhart had some work business that took him away from being in the booth. hope we have him back next week. But tonight, 133 laps of great action of drivers trying to hold on to dear life. This car looks extremely unstable at this track, which means the driver's going to have a handful, and we should have an exciting race on our hands to be viewing, as we got a real good exciting one last week. If you missed out, IRP, Lucas Oil Raceway, the drivers put on a good one where Zach Hall got himself into victory lane, joining the other victors of this season at 42, joining with Vincent Sora, who has 2 wins, Larry Yingling, who's got that of 1 win, Ryan Johnson, who we see on screen, who's got his win back at Daytona, and Aaron Smith II, who came with a 1 race and done scenario. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a smaller field than most, expecting about 18 drivers. So we've seen a lot of drivers out of town or having to step away from the WSSR, as some are busy with other sports and live events. So we get to see some great racing now as Johnson, first lap, taking the top of the board for that 28 machine. As we're seeing that of Brian Johnson going to be going through that of 3 and 4, the more narrow side of this course. Kind of egg-shaped, going to be 1 and 2, a much wider and longer corner. 3 and 4 going to be a much narrower, shorter corner, as Johnson takes the top of the board for the 28 machine with a 36.493. But the drivers for practice to watch out for going to be that of Brandon Colley and Tom Sinchek. Sinchek going to get second on the board. Colley going to be in third, which means it is wide open on who can take the pole award. As we see on screen, drivers certainly excited on what pace they're going to have, as Christopher Norris in this 38 hoping to find something extra, but his 1 lap that got placed in not going to be good enough for any top positions. It's going to be 11th currently of all the drivers that have qualified, and should be a good one. I believe we might have Robert with us here shortly, but again, a lot of excitement, excited for it as we bring in Robert Moyer Jr. into the booth. Robert, Twin Ring Motegi, we were laughing about it coming into tonight. You were in the booth for when we were at the GP course. Well, now let's try the oval course.
Yeah, why not, Sam? Go on the GP side of things and seeing how that race went here with the WSSR, and now we're on the other side of the oval side of things. And the last time we seen anybody run this oval here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting was on Monday night with them guys, and seeing how that, the trucks handled. But again, like you said earlier, Sam, this is a different beast. Different, yeah, as you can see right there, as you see Simchek get loose coming out of the corner, and we'll have to see how these guys handle this. I don't know too much about the setups, but just looking through the lineup here right now, Sam, just looking at the times, holy mackerel, we got 36.58s, we got 36.65s, 6.7s. Like, this field is pretty tight packed.
Yeah, right now, top 10 drivers all within 0.3 of one another. It was even closer in practice, where the top 2 were kind of in their own zip code, but everyone else within 0.1 of one another. So the speeds should be a lot closer, especially with the assistance of the draft, as we got 30 seconds left in qualifying. I want to give a big shout out to one of the main sponsors here at the WSSR, and that's the title sponsor of Roasted Gems Coffee. If you would like to get yourself some premium coffee to wake you up in the morning or have a great time during the day, go get yourself some Roasted Gems Coffee with the promo code WSSR for 5% off. Start your day off right with Roasted Gems Coffee. As qualifying has come to a conclusion, Vincent Sora looks good to be topping the board for the 15 machine, as he has been quick here tonight. Excited to see how the drivers are going to be all taking off as times are done. Let's take a look at our results here tonight as the drivers get themselves gridded up. Twin Ring Motegi excited to give us another great show. We got to see Aaron Smith II get the win last time we were here in Japan. This go around, not going to be seeing that 70 machine. Instead, a much bigger field to see what they've got a chance to conquer at this egg-shaped course. As taking the pole award, going to be that of Vincent Sora in the 15. Larry Yingling is going to be in second. That of Brian P. Johnson in third. Tom Sinchek taking fourth. Brandon Colley in fifth place. Zach Hall sixth. Seventh, Cedric Hunter. And eighth, going to be the 0-1 of Aaron Kralik. The 7 of Corey Ennis going to be ninth. Rich Jamison, 10th position for the 86 machine. Ryan Bird, a little bit of a deeper start for 49. He'll be in 11th place. Thomas Walter in 12th. Kyle Rochelle, 13th. Christopher Norris in 14th. 15 goes to Bob Skinner. Jonathan Cogswell, unexpected to start here tonight. He was in practice. The 27 has not rejoined to the server. May be missing another night of racing, which could be very detrimental if he's going to make a push for the playoffs that are just that of 5 races away after tonight. Then in 17th, going to be Tyler Dangler. Talk to Tyler. That is 15 minutes before this qualifying started, and the race about to start, he had put 0 practice in, so we're unsure what the 19 is going to bring for himself. Then in 18th would be that of James Kaufman and James Hackworth Jr. in 19th position. A lot of drivers expected for tonight's race. A little bit of a slimmer field than what we're usually seeing here for the WSSR. But Robert, it should still be a good race as we got the 2 times up front. Going to be our starting row.
Yeah, I don't see why this shouldn't be that bad of a race here. We're packing, 18 drivers. Leagues go through that. We've been doing this a very long time, Sam, and sometimes you have the good turnouts and sometimes you have the bad ones, but it doesn't mean you still can't have great racing out there. And, we got Larry that finally got the monkey off his back, coming back with the Gen 7 car after taking a year off and finally getting that win, and he's going to battle here very hard, beside Vincent Soar and the rest of the field here. So we'll see how this all plays out, and hopefully we don't have too many yellows.
We're hoping for not too many of them. Also, Robert, it would be nice for you to switch the screen. That way I can see what our feed is. As Vincent Sora, Larry Yingling going to be your top 2. Third's going to be that of Brian Johnson. Thompson Check going to be in 4th. 5th is Brandon Collier. Top 5 expecting a lot here tonight as well. Big shout out to our grid sponsor, that being Colley's mom. Brandon Colley's been doing too well this season. We had to nerf him, put him back in 5th. We'll see how the one's going to be racing here tonight as we are getting ourselves ready for an incredible run. 133 laps here this evening. But Vincent Sora, Larry Yingling, going to be excited to see how they can run overall. But how is this race going to happen? Just from one transition to the next, how is this race going to evolve? There's no going to be stage breaks tonight. There will be that of 4 extra sets of tires in pit road. Hearing from the drivers, this race could potentially turn into a one-stop, but it's going to be very intense if they can get to that point. Into the restart zone, and it's time for us to get racing as it is green here tonight here at the Twin Ring Motegi Oval Course. How can the drivers tackle Japan? Well, Larry Yingling's already taking the advantage. Going to be in first place with that Vincent Sora behind him. Thompson Check stuck to the outside lane, giving a great opportunity for the 28. As the drivers exit out of the corner, going to be Tom Sinchek as well as Brian Johnson going to be in the battling for 3rd position. Here comes Brandon Colley, going to be to the outside. Little bit of a checkup. That's going to be something to think about throughout this race. That apex of the corner. Who's going to be slow? Who's going to be fast? But first lap, give it to the 67 of Larry Yingling as the 67 continues to hold strong up front. Vincent Sora is just going to linger behind. And there's going to be a lot of learning lessons for the drivers here tonight. How are you going to be finding the speed? Do you want to be aggressive early on? Do you want to protect your tires? These drivers, again, with that no stage break, have to learn. This race could potentially go green from the start to the very end. Not completely sure on how much this is going to be overall exciting on, the deep side of the field. Already up front, keeping it single file, holding steady. First side-by-side racing is going to be all the way back in that of 9th place. That is Zach Hall as well as Rich Jamison as the 42 is dropping backwards. But up front, gotta say, Robert, Larry Yingling's looking as strong as ever right now.
Yeah, he jumps out here to the lead right away on lap number 1 here over Vincent Sora. So, we'll see how his all plays out with these two mighty dogs back here. But in 3rd place right now, we got Brian Johnson. Just looming his way, just taking it easy, and actually just ran the fastest lap of the race of a 36.67. So I don't know if that draft is, playing a little bit of key factor there, Sam, or not. But he moved himself up into there as we look at Aaron Kralik back here now for 6th and 7th position. He's going to work underneath Cedric Hunter there and into the turn, and he's going to make it a pretty easy, clean pass. And, he gets just a little wiggly out of the turn, but seems to make the pass pretty clean there.
Yeah, and that's going to be something throughout the drivers, the exit of the corners. We saw it on Monday during the trucks. That was something that was really difficult on the exit of 4, it looked like the most. And they'd also break very tight and get close to that outside wall, looking like looseness over turning. And I know these drivers had to make a custom setup. They weren't given the complete details of that setup, but Robert, obviously looseness was the goal of the setup, and it's just going to be a handful all night long, which honestly, as a viewer, it makes a treat for us on who can hold on to these vehicles as the run continues on.
Yeah, as the run continues on, that's pretty interesting. We'll have to see how these guys, if they, got any practice with the, with the setup or anything like you said. Some of these, like Tyler Dingler in the 19, just came back, but you can see Aaron Kralik, he made that pass on Cedric Hunter, and then as he made that pass, we had a couple of Brandon Colley. He moved himself up now, and we've got also there that number 8 machine working his way up through the field here too. So those two made it past them, and now it looks like Cedric Hunter, Ryan Bird's now looking on the outside here with Rich there behind there, but we got Ryan Bird there at the late apex machine looking to go down into turn 3 and 4 here to see if he can make it past Cedric. Now, the question is, Sam, is Cedric, backing off? Maybe he knows something from testing, save on the tires, maybe save on the fuel a little bit, strategy, because normally you don't see just cars easily passing Cedric Hunter in that Hello Kitty car, well, Roasted Gem, actually, car, this easily.
Yeah, in the Hello Kitty pink machine, as we see that honestly, I think for Cedric Hunter in the 13, it's just still a learning process. I don't think a lot of these drivers got enough practice in dirty air, running around one another. So these first 30 laps, 20 to 30 laps, going to be a lot of knowledge to take in. And for Ryan Burt, currently the biggest mover right now, up 4 positions. The 49 obviously hit the go button, didn't qualify where he wanted in 11th place, and now is on the move to try to go for another driver. And here comes Rich Jamison in that of the 86 machine, poking the nose to the inside, but not able to carry as much momentum. Looked to be backed off much earlier into these corners. And with this being a different track than most that we go to, that little change up of how do you want to enter these corners, that's also going to be a learning aspect throughout the night with the draft.
Yeah, most definitely there, Sam. We're watching Rich right now there in that number 86. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to go back and watch this broadcast. In April, we have the last lap. I actually got to interview this guy, Sam, Friday night, and we talked for about 50 minutes, almost an hour. Very, very interesting setups he has. I'm telling you, it's going to be one not to miss. It was a great interview, and I can't wait for it to come out, next month. But back to the racing here. He only gets to race on Saturday nights, but right now he's looking on the inside of Cedric Hunter, and I don't know what Cedric's doing, if he's not liking this track or not, but he's falling back through the field pretty fast here, Sam.
Well, he's only lost now going to be 2 positions. He's not, based off the time to our leaders, yeah, they're losing quite a bit of time. But I would say for the 13, just trying to stay close to the drivers around him. He might give up position here or there. Not the worst scenario for that 13 Cedric Hunter. But, touching on that conversation you got to have with Rich Jamison, part of the Cool Down Lab, episode 3, soon to be coming out in the middle of this month. That's going to be having all 5 of the different leagues we cover, having conversations with some of the drivers from those different leagues, as well as us here at Freaky Fast, our content and our crew, having those conversations with those drivers. And excited to hear how that conversation went between yourself, Robert, and Rich Jamison in that 86 machine. And excited to just also hear from some of the other conversations as we're 11 laps in of 133. As here's the 42 of Zach Hall. Zach Hall dealing with some slight issues. It looked like he blinked out for a quick moment. And I'm curious if he's having similar issues that he's shown to have before. I know, Robert, we've been talking with Zach. He's been having some computer issues of keeping his steering wheel connected with his computer. Yep. And with him being this far back, I think he still might have some of those issues. Yeah, I think them issues are still, it's not like in real life where you can blow a motor, blow a tire, crash the car. Well, you can crash the car. Really don't got... You can blow the motor in iRacing, but you don't physically see it. But, that is the realm of the internet woes that you get here racing or playing any game. So
Unfortunately, he thought he had it, fixed and under control, but it looks like it's rearing its head back up there, Sam. And he's just going to ride back here, I think, right now in 12th position, stay away from everybody, be by himself, and just in case something does happen. But unfortunately, hopefully he can get this, this issue fixed sooner than later here.
Yeah, hoping to find some type of solution to allow this 42 to race at his full potential. We know that Zach Hall could be very fast. Last time we were here at Japan, he had similar issues, and looks like they're rearing their head once again. We move up to our top three. Let's find that Larry Yingling as well as Vincent Sora, Brian P. Johnson running with one another. Very similar lap times between these three machines. Not a lot of movement, though, since lap one, where Larry got a fantastic launch. Taking the lead, has not given it up, as we are 14 laps into this race. No caution yet, and that was the thing that I think some of these drivers weren't sure about. Based off of practice, it looked like there was a high chance of cautions coming out. But Robert, looks like our top three look very stable. It's the rest of the field I think they're more curious about on if they're going to be bringing out the yellow here tonight.
Yeah, everybody looks pretty stable. Vincent Sora there, right, getting on the back end of Larry here right now, and Brian Johnson slowly working his way up through the field. Working his way up to these guys here as we got a battle for the lead, Sam.
It's going to be Vincent Sora finding his nose on the entry, going to be trying to push up the 67 up to that outside wall, as Larry Yingling, the better launch, going to keep it side by side down into turn number 3. Vincent Sora going to be in the more preferred lane as he throws it down into the corner, gets onto the brake. Going to be also shifting down, getting up through the gears as he comes out of the corner, and Vincent Sora taking the lead, and that's going to give an opportunity for that as well of the 28 of Brian P. Johnson. Johnson not able to succeed on that pass, but a beautiful transition from Vincent Sora. A full lap showing that it may take a full lap to make some of these passes, could take longer, as Sora makes the pass for himself there, but now going to be under fire as Larry not giving up just yet. And gotta say, I mean, Robert, you've watched and covered, you've been the producer of every Freaky Fast broadcast. You've seen the 67 in the past in those original 3 seasons. You know, this race isn't over just yet for him.
Oh, not even close, Sam. With Larry right now, he is basically like a computer loading all the data. He's watching, he sees, okay, I got myself out there. I led, 16 laps, and then finally Vincent, passed me. So it took Vincent 16 laps to get around me, and he saved his tires probably a little bit. So trust me, I wouldn't worry about this right now, as we got Brian Johnson now going down in turn 3. And it looks like he's going to try to clear Larry here, and I'm sure Larry's going to ride the high side. He's going to let him go. He's going to fall in place here and just fall back to 3rd position. But again, I think Larry's perfectly fine, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, by the end of the race, he'll have something figured out.
I mean, such a cool shot to see these 3 drivers in the picture, 3 champions. And for that, Vincent Sora, Brian P. Johnson, Larry Yingling, I mean, drivers that have won almost in every single race we've gone to. These are the top 3 most winnish drivers in league history in our 6 seasons. And for Vincent Sora, trying to figure out how to get that 3rd championship, but running down our top 3, fastest driver on track, going to be the one machine of Brandon Colley. And I was looking at practice. Colley was surprising me. He was the fastest driver from practice, and the one we talked about practice coming into this race. I think he might have been one of those drivers that might have put it into practice as well. Colley was one of the admins that decided, hey, we should really go to this track. It could put on a great show. Confidence level was through the roof for this one machine, as he's hoping that tonight could be the night to finally get into the win column.
Yeah, exactly right, Sam. I'm glad you brought that up. Brandon's been pushing for this track since last year, the last season, and he really wanted it, Finally, he got it on the schedule, and there's something maybe about this track, because you can look how, I mean, he is fast. He's mowing down Larry right now here, like he's sitting still, and he knows something, and probably, like you said, he did a lot of practicing, figured out the tire wear and everything. But my thing with Brandon is, love him to death, but hopefully he doesn't get too frustrated, because when he gets frustrated at something is when it all goes downhill.
Well, right now, looking like the fastest driver on the long run and into a race where the potential of this race turning into a one-stop and us not being halfway to when drivers might be thinking about coming into pit road. This is great to see by the one machine who's caught up to Larry. Now, time to see how do you set up and make this pass. As the one bounces to the outside, it looks like Larry English just giving up the position. Easy pass right before we even got to the corner, and that was some kind driving by some drivers that are in the same radio with one another. Larry Yingling, Brandon Colley, all in the same radio channel of Freaking Fast Racing. There's about 8 drivers that are all on the same radio call. So I'd imagine that was a quick, hey, I'm giving you the position, go for it.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'll just move over. You're faster than me. You were like 2, 3, 4 tenths faster than me per lap. You know, see what you can do. See if you can run down Brian Johnson here and Vince Sora, which are teammates up here battling each other. And right now, Brian Johnson is all over that 15 machine here, trying to work turn 3 and 4 here, Sam. And I don't know if dirty air is too much of a factor. I would imagine it is. Is dirty air pretty strong or medium, or is it pretty low for these guys?
The dirty air is a massive thing here at Twin Ring Motegi. That's why we're seeing these 2 different ways that you're entering and going through the corner through 1 and 2. Johnson wanted to go a lane higher so we get some more of that clean air on that bumper. It's going to allow him to have more downforce, more turn in the center and off the corner. And here comes the run. Brian Johnson to the inside going for his teammate Vincent Sora, checking up quickly, giving up that position. And that's another swappage that's just easy, not fighting, not trying to lose any more ground than they have to, but they've got to watch out. I actually want to ride on board with the one machine, Brandon Colley, and into the cockpit because the one might be giving us a lot of good information to look out for. And the big thing, look at the gearing. We'll see if he's shifting at all through that of 3 and 4, because I think that could be where he's gaining a lot of time compared to where other front runners, as he's in 5th gear through 1 and 2. That's expected, but it's coming down into turns 3 and 4 where drivers could be tempted to shift down into 4th gear. These 5 gears that they work with, certainly a lot of different ways to go around these corners, but for the one, staying in 5th, he's not shifting up, which is giving me a sign that he might be thinking about saving fuel by staying in 5th instead of shifting down into 4th for a better launch out of the corner.
Yeah, very true. Let's ride up here with Vince Sora, see what he's doing. As you know, it's traditional. We're going to go through 1 and 2 here at Twin Motegi and stay in 5th gear. Looks like he's going to stay in 5th gear. A little loose coming out of the turn there, out of turn 2. Heading down the backstretch here, Sam, and we're going to see exactly what he decides to do here going in. Yeah, he's downshifting.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting a lot of drivers to do, is shift down into 4th. That of the RPMs these drivers get down to is so low. I'm not surprised by that. Drivers could shift down into 4th. I think I'm more surprised on Vincent Sora shifting up as late as he does. But hey, some drivers have different preferences that they're looking for. And for the 15, I mean, he's a winner. He knows how to get into victory lane. Might have a different strategy than what the one does, but right now, Brandon Colley is flying still, running just as fast as our leaders, as you can see on the back bumper. It's the dirty air that's slowing him down, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colley takes this lead with how quick this one machine looks here as we're closing in on the halfway marker of our first stint. For these drivers, we're expecting pit stops around 64 to that of lap 66. But if they can make it somehow to lap 67, that could be the money stop to turn this race into a one-stop for these drivers.
Oh, that's it too, Sam. We were just talking about Brandon Colley, and we'll note on it a little bit more here. He's not shifting. He's staying in 5th gear all the way around the track. You brought it up. Is he saving fuel? Of course he's saving fuel. The RPMs drop so low that he's not using a lot of fuel. And, the strategy then would be he's thinking the fuel mileage. I guarantee you that's in his back of his head because, like you said, we have, 18 vehicles out there? Honestly, I see this race going completely green.
Oh, trouble
never
on
mind.
that of the back stretch. It's the 21 of Kyle Rochelle, and that's going to bring out our first yellow.
I didn't do it.
Oh, you touched on it. You said commentators' curse is a thing, Robert.
I know. I didn't even get to finish my sentence.
Well, first yellow of the day, Kyle Rochelle, and he's got required damage for the 21. Looks to be a broken toe link, as We'll get an instant replay on what brought out this yellow. But 18 drivers made it into this race. We can down already to 17 as we are getting these drivers set up and game prepared. But man, this race already 29 laps in as we are getting our replay of the first caution of the day. It looked to be just one driver involved with this thing as we're getting the replay set up for you, the viewers, as currently right now it's Brian P. Johnson, Vincent Sora, Brandon Colley, Larry Gingling going to be your top four. And this is what brought out our first caution. It was that of Kyle Rochelle getting into the outside wall and a hard contact that did not give a good weight shift to the 21, got him completely out of shape, but it was contact there that broke the car, and it so much velocity that came into that, it actually bounced him back up. He was gunning it as well, trying to spin that 21 around, and it was James Ackworth Jr. being the driver that's going to fly on by on the outside. That's going to be bringing out the yellow here tonight, but already going to be our first yellow of this evening. And drivers already going to be coming into pit road as this yellow flag comes out, and just a simple wreck, yellow. And with that, going to be Brian P. Johnson getting these drivers leading the charge of those that come into pit road. Well, thank you so much for everyone joining with us. 30 laps in, still plenty more racing to go. And I believe we are going to step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, more incredible racing here for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series here at Twin Ring Motegi's Oval Course. This is race number 7 of the regular season. We're past the halfway marker. It's all about hitting your marks now. As we step aside, you're watching Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be back just after this. They're wrecking, they're splitting, and it's a complete mayhem.
We have a wreck at the front. 19 goes down into the 7, takes out the 00.
They're 5 wide behind for fifth. Oh my, 5 wide here. This ain't gonna work, is it? They're already wrecking into turn 1, and now coming through that of turn 2. This is it, the Daytona. Oh no, the wrecking contact. Sets gets into the wall. Gonna be scattering on the outside. Drivers on the apron. Drivers coming out of nowhere. Edison on the outside trying to get the win. And it's William Edison stealing it at the line.
The wall. The 18 trying to block. 77 to get into the 18. That leaves 3 of TJ Roberts. 17 to Gavin Rogers. 3 of TJ Roberts is gonna steal the win here.
What second fiddle so many times last season. Christopher Wade wins the season 5 Daytona 200.
think I watched Josh 3 or 4 times before I ran the car. He killed them every race, and it was like stout fields, like good cars, big races, and I mean, he was unbeatable. And I was like, oh man, this is, like, I'm nervous. I was so nervous getting into the car full time this year after watching Josh win 3 or 4 races straight. These cars, they have a lot of horsepower now. They have over 500, and I think 5 years ago they didn't have 450. They're gonna be a handful to drive, but just don't overdrive them. Let the car do the work.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's race, you're watching the WSSR Rosa Gems Cup Series action, as it has been race number 7 at Twin Ring Motegi. We've had 1 caution so far, as a self-spin by that of Kyle Rochelle. The drivers out on track is that of Brian P. Johnson, Larry Yingling, Vincent Sora, and Brandon Colley. Colley's going to be the wild card driver in that one machine. On the long run, he was the fastest driver once closing in on our leaders. Short run wise, watch out for that 67. Larry Yingling, like Robert said earlier, kind of like a computer, taking in the data, trying to figure out how he wants to tackle and take this lead back that he had at the start of this race. Thank you so much for joining with us. That of the WSSR Cup Series is presented by Roasted Gems Coffee. Roasted Gems Coffee, quality coffee for you to go get. Remember to use promo code WSSR for 5% off on getting yourself premium coffee and plenty of flavors to find. It's almost like every 2 to 3 months there's a new flavor on their website. So go check out the amazing collection that they have at Roasted Gems Coffee. As well, Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack, one of the best places to go if you want to join your celebrations or giving someone their failures. Go celebrate it with that of a championship belt, ring, or trophy, as go over to trophysmack.com today. Remember, you can design anything you want with whatever image as well as phrasing you want as well. Trophysmack.com. Remember to use promo code WSSR Cup. That's WSSR CUB when you're purchasing for 10% off on any item at Trophy Smack. Tonight, Robert, it's been an interesting one. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Robert Moyer Jr., who's also producing tonight's race. Drivers to watch out for right now has to be that of 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Those drivers looking mighty quick, trying to keep up with our leaders.
Yeah, I think, like you just said it, you nailed the head there, Sam. Keep an eye on 4th, 5th, and 6th of Colley, and you got Bird, and you got Aaron here in that 01. Aaron looked pretty fast there at the start, and he fell back here to 6th position. But I think these guys are just, running their own pace, doing their own thing, and hopefully they'll be able to move it up through the field here. But they They look very comfortable. I don't see their cars stepping out too much. We've seen maybe one or two times on Aaron Kralik there on the 01. But other than that, the cars look pretty stable for these guys.
They really do look overall stable, as long as they don't get too tie-off exits. Seems like they seem to be at least in a manageable state. These drivers can tackle. 45 laps into our 133 here tonight, with the timing of that caution coming out around lap 30. We're talking about it. Looks to be drivers should be good for a one-stop for sure. From here on out, they should not have to worry about any more pit stops. If there wasn't that caution, then things are going to get a lot more interesting on if this race is going to be a one-stop or a two-stop. Throw that out the window. We are down to 18 drivers, still all on the lead lap. And you see it in front. That battle for second is on. Larry Yingling, Vincent Sora wanting to get on the move in the 15 to the inside lane. Not able to conquer for the pass just yet. Here comes the opportunity, and we saw it under that commercial break, Robert. I mean, Larry Yingling's not afraid to block. He put a massive one on the 15 right on the restart.
Yeah, that we did, and you know, in the first stint there, he was laying over, letting guys go by, pulling in the data, like you said, that we quoted on there, and now you can see his second stint here. He's like, okay, I figured it out, and you want to pass me? Now you got to work for it there, Vincent, because I'm not going to let you go, you know, as easy as I did, you know. So, you know, he's not giving up now. He's like, this is my position, and like you noted, Sam, you know. We've seen that at the start of the last green flag start there. He went all the way down the track, blocking Vincent and not let him by. So I think Larry here is pretty content right now running in second position.
I would say so as well. A driver having issues. We brought out our first yellow, and back into pit road, Kyle Rochelle, 21, not having a great day here in Japan. He slams the inside wall once again and the outside wall. Too much damage. Back into pit road to get that damage repaired. A driver, though, that came in the middle, came in later into our season. It's a 0-4 of Thomas Walter. We've seen him in plenty of other series that we've covered here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And Thomas Walter just outside of our top 10. He's trying to catch up to that Rich Jamison and trying to keep a good buffer between himself and that of James Kaufman. And looking at the stats coming into tonight, that of Thomas Walter, certainly one of the drivers that's just looking for an overall good day. He's had 4 races so far this season. Best finish was 14th at the Twin Ring Motegi GP a few weeks ago. 0-4 currently in that of 11. Should be his best finish. But Rich Jamison, Robert, the 86, 10th place runner right now. He has shown good pace in previous seasons. Here tonight, just looking for a solid top 10.
Yeah, I had a conversation last night with him about this upcoming race here, which you'll see, like you said there, in the last lap there in the middle of this, in the middle of April here, when that episode gets released, episode 3 of your hard work that you do, Sam. So I know that the fans out there and everybody that drivers do much appreciate the work that you put behind it, because trust me, it's not easy. But I talked to him about it a little bit, and he felt very comfortable coming into this track. He said he got the test with the setup, and he felt like his pace speeds were good, but you know, he noted too, you know, once you get in, you got to see what the other drivers are doing and what speeds that they're pulling. Just because you feel comfortable is good, but doesn't mean it's going to be as good as what you think it's going to be. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah, I completely understand that with the feeling comfortable wise. And sometimes when you're in that comfortable state, comfortable doesn't always mean you're quick. Sometimes it's better to be out of control and you're running a lot faster in that fashion. And at this time, 86 in 10th place. One of his better runs, like I said. His best finishes, though, this season was at that of Nashville Superspeedway, as well at that of Texas Oval, with an 8th place at that of Nashville Superspeedway, and going to be the 9th place at the Oval, as we see the 82 Bob Skinner, 82 machine, been here for a while, and for that is Skinner. One of the races here tonight, I'm just hoping to finish, I would say, for the 82 here, Robert.
Yeah.
His best finish so far is 15th at Nashville Superspeedway, but he's actually had some potential top 10 finishes, but gets caught up in late incidences. Here tonight, we're closing in on halfway, and he's got to hope that the second half of this race is a little bit more calm than that first.
Yeah, with Bob Skinner, like you said, he just looking to have a good run. Just finish the race is all he's looking for. And tonight, just watching him go around here, he seems, the car seems more comfortable to him. It looks like he's not fighting it. It's working pretty good. Yeah, the speed might not be there, but that doesn't mean anything. At least, like you said, he needs to get a finish. And, where Bob shines the most, he's good at these, mile and a half tracks. Wait till we get to the super speedway race. That's when you're going to see, Bob shine. He reminds me of a Dale Earnhardt Jr. You come out and he'd be the one he would be a dark horse to win it. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, Bob Skinner, I gotta say, the super speedway race is always a blast to watch because the fact that anyone has an opportunity to run well. But tonight it has been a struggle for some drivers. Here's Tyler Dangler, talked about it under that of the qualifying results. A driver that really has barely any experience. He has taken this race as a learning from the start to the very end. The 19, a part of that Monday night ISRC Truck Series race that got to have the trucks at this track. And I gotta say here tonight, Robert, it's gonna be an interesting one for the 19 because he said that he was going to take the notes that he learned from the truck and try to implement it with the Cup car, which is a tough thing, especially when these cars are so different from one another.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. You're talking about trucks and horsepower and momentum-based truck that you hear on iRacing service compared to the Cup car. I mean, you can take in what you learned on the track wise, but as vehicle wise, I don't see that playing out too well. And I could be wrong, but I just don't see that playing out. But normally we don't talk about paint schemes, but every once in a while we do. Did you see the headlights on this vehicle?
Yeah, so I've actually talked to Tyler. I've been in talks of figuring out how does he want to make this car look the best. And the headlights, to see him there, it's eyes like a viper.
That's sick.
As you wanted to take this scheme, love the different decals of Dodge machine and the fact you see that with the 19 numbers, buddy, to love the Shelby Ford and the logo. Said, you know what, I'm going to turn this car into that of a Viper, and you also can see the fangs on the front as well.
Yeah, that I like all the cars that people make and everything, but this one's sick. Like, I'm a Shelby guy and I like my Ford, but I'm a Toyota guy too, of course. But yeah, this I'm sorry, Sam, I know we don't dwell on it, but this is one sick paint scheme. Like, them headlights, man, what does it look like at nighttime? He's got to bring this car out at night.
I mean, there are plenty of different tracks, so you could probably bring it out to the night course. I'm trying to look at when the next time we are going to be going to a night, and that is going to be the last race of the regular season. That's going to be when we head to the USA Speedway short track racing with the Viper. Hey, you might want to use this machine to strike at people if you got the fangs on the front.
Agreed, and I bet that probably looks sick at nighttime or just, at late afternoon, early evening to dusk. Whew. Yeah. Tyler, you go back and watch this. You bring that car back out, man, because I really do want to see what it looks like. Or get us some screenshots from Freaky Fast Broadcasting so we can post it on our social media platform. So other people can see how nice looking that vehicle is that you're running on. But speaking of the social media platform, Sam, everybody out there, make sure you go over and check us out on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have them all, and we've been shortly working on video shorts. I'm trying to learn, trying to get better at it, Sam. Trying to learn new things on DaVinci Resolve, and trying to keep up with you on your skills of making videos, because it's a time-consuming, tough task.
It is very time-consuming, and talking about social media as well. That's what Christopher Norris on screen. That's what he usually is doing for us here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and also he's a part of the podcast. He covers the ISRC portion of the cool down lap that we have monthly of the episodes. As we look throughout the rest of the field, here's going to be in 16th place James Ackworth Jr. and the 28 just in cruise mode, about to be going a lap down. But honestly, this is kind of a typical James Hackworth race. Just take his bumps. Might not be the fastest driver out there, but as long as he's having fun, he's out on track.
Yeah.
That is a victory of a day for the 23.
Most definitely. James Hackworth Jr. is the type of guy. He's really is good at really good at road course racing, Sam. But not so much as a road course from the history that I know from about this guy. Oval side is not his thing. He just, as you can tell, he's just out there having fun, enjoying a night out with the guys and just running around the track. But if you put him into a GT3 car or one of those type of cars or GT4s, he's a different guy. And you go watch him and you'll be like, wait, is this James? Because holy mackerel, he's fast.
Yeah, and also I gotta say, James is probably one of my favorite people just to have in a call while racing. He is so calm when he actually is bringing up moments, and it's always a pleasure to have him out there on track. But competition is starting to mount up as we're talking about that 23. He's about to be caught by this 5-car train. It's our top 5 all together, all within a second of one another. It's Brian P. Johnson, Larry Yangling, Vincent Sora, Brady Colley, and that of Ryan Bird, all together, clustered up. And Robert, hey, we were checking out the rest of the field and where some of those other competitors were, but these top 5 have really closed things up in the last 5 laps.
Yeah, Ryan Bird right now here is about a second behind here of the leader, and right now they all closed up, but we noted on the dirty air, and it looks like the closer you get, the worse that these tire wears is going to get. And I'm starting to think here, Sam, that we've been on a pretty long run now here again, and I'm sure these tires are starting to feel the wear and starting to maybe slip a little bit, or they're just not getting that exit speed that they're looking for. And you got to back out of the the throttle just a little bit to get that front end to turn, to be able to keep up with everybody, because it just seems like everybody got close, but now nothing's happening. Like they're on a stale, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but nothing's happening.
Well, and I think the issue is this is a 1.5-mile course, but it drives similar to a short track where it's a 1-lane preferred spot. Vincent Sora going to be driving the outside lane, but it's a lot more of you want to be on the low side. You want to stay on that white line. You're going to be having a much better exit and able to carry the speed a lot better. But Vincent Sora going to be trying to do a power move on the outside, doing the complete opposite of what I just said. But down in turn 3 and 4, again, like I noted on previously, Larry Yangling in that of the 67 preferred lane on the inside groove. You just lose so much speed on the outside that you just can't make it back up with how narrow the course is. But Larry, bad exit, and Vincent Sora up to second place now.
That was an interesting move. Normally, like you said, you don't see that happening here. I don't know if that hurt his tires a little bit by pushing the car a little bit more, but I think Vincent said, I can't get up underneath you, but if I can get on the outside of you and get into that turn, I can pinch your car down on the exit, and you ain't going to be able to drift up and get that speed. And that's exactly what he did, and he made the pass. So great power move there from the 15 there, Vincent Sora.
And now going to be seeing how Vincent Sora can try to catch up to his teammate from Sidewinders Motorsports. Going to be running the 28 and the 15 as well. Aaron Frolic, a part of that team, back in 7th place, as he's going to be passed by late Apex driver Tom Senchak. But this top group, Randy Colley, looking at the times, fastest driver is Johnson. Randy Colley, who was seen on the long run, be faster than the other competitors, but with the caution and the fact that it came out at lap 30, it was kind of like a stage break, Robert, where it was long enough into a run where drivers got plenty of great data on their tires when they came into pit road, if they needed to push more aggressively, if they needed to be more patient, protective of their tires. And now we're starting to see that grouping close in with one another. This is great action to see. But I got to say, for the one, I think it would have been a lot better if this race had stayed green with the amount of knowledge that he had in that first stint.
Yeah, I think he had a game plan, and when that yellow came out, that kind of threw that out the window. But hey, race ain't over yet. We're on lap 68 of 133. It's still a long way to go. We still got to make one more pit stop, Sam. They have to go in and get 4 freshies and fill that tank to finish out this race. So just because he's back here, I think he just needs to calm down yet and worry about the last 30 laps of the race and not first 69.
These
look
drivers
at
have the
this.
caution as Larry England going to be to the inside, going to be trying to fight back for that position. A little bit of a slip up on the entry of the corner, and able to stay in the throttle was Vincent Sora to keep that position. But we're now coming up to 40 laps into this run, meaning we're going to be about 25 to that of 26 laps away from drivers having come into pit road. And Robert, that's going to sit us very close to about that of 30 to 35 laps to go. Means that these drivers are going to need a perfect pit stop if we continue to stay green. We do have some updates of drivers deeper in the field. That of Kyle Rochelle pulled into the pit roads. He has officially called it a night. Same for the 7 of Corey Ennis. He has called it a night about 18 laps ago. Hate to see it for those drivers that were not able to make it to the end of this race, but we're now down to 16 drivers out on track. Only 15 on the lead lap. And if we continue to stay green, we could be down to just 10 drivers on the lead lap with a big drop-off from 10th to 11th place.
Yeah, big, like you said, yeah, big drop-off there, but just watch Brandon Colley get loose coming out of the corner, and now Ryan Bird's going to try to pounce on that little mistake there, but not going to be able to do it. But, yeah, like you're saying, man, we'll have to see how this, we got, the top 9, 6 seconds, Aaron Curley 6 seconds behind the race leader of Brian Johnson. That's been looking pretty good. He gave up the lead there at the beginning of the race. I do believe, no, he did not. Yeah, well, he started. Anyways, he laid back and then finally, he worked his way around and got up here to the lead, and he hasn't looked back. Once he got past everybody after that start of the race, he hasn't looked back there, Sam. He's looking pretty strong in that Trophy Smack machine, and I don't know. I don't know if Vincent Sora has anything for him or not.
I mean, I'm looking back to that of season 4. I mean, it's for season 4 for the WSSR. Ryan Johnson, Vincent Sora both were dominating the whole entire season. And the 28 really looked strong, Robert, when it was races like this, where there was dirty air, a big factor. All you had to do was just put your rear bumper right on the front bumper of the driver behind you, and that dirty air would just slow him down, not allow the driver to really get that advantage they were hoping for. This 28, phenomenal at those types of racetracks, and I'm not surprised by the fact that he got the clean air. Not looking back, it's been difficult to see any type of pressure. Vincent Sora starting to find some speed. I'm concerned on the fact for the 15, by the time that he gets close enough for a pass, will his teammate just lay over and let him go? Because we're past halfway. Or will we see Brian Johnson be able to keep this lead until we start to see pit stops, where that could be an interesting, moment here, Robert, on the fact of pit stops. Who's going to do an undercut? Who's going to pit normally? Who might extend it as long as possible?
Good question. Undercut, you got some of these guys, like we were saying back here with Brandon Colley, he's been known to throw some tricks out there and try to set sail, and hopefully it sticks, to the wind and, move himself up through the field. Because looking right now here, we got Colley about 2 seconds behind, Bird's about 2 seconds behind. Then you got Tom Simchek, that's 4 seconds behind. You got Zach Hall, that's 4 seconds behind. And Cedric Hunter, we haven't talked much about, is 6 seconds behind. So we got a little clusters of 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 of cars. And I don't know if there's any kind of radio chat going on out there, but some of these guys are in team chat, on their team on Discord. Guys in the back, maybe they want to play that strategy. Hey, come in and pit with me, and I can use my draft a little bit, and maybe we can leapfrog these guys and get ahead, and hopefully we can stay ahead, because once they catch us, then they got the dirty air. They got to work around us. So, there's some strategies that still can be played here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, right now, looking at the drivers that are in some group chats, there's just a few of them in their little pods of groups. The biggest one is a group of 8, which are on Freaky Fast Racing's team. That's going to be Colley, Cedric Hunter, Tyler Dingler, James Hackworth Jr., Christopher Norris, Zach Hall, Larry Yingling, and Bob Skinner. They're all in communication with one another. The next closest big group going to be Aaron Kralik, Vincent Sora, Brian Johnson, and Thomas Walter. So that is going to be from the Sidewinder Motorsports team. So we're seeing a couple of drivers that are in the top, a couple in the back. that are grouped up with one another, trying to give clear communication on what might be helping them, what may not be helping them, and how to get faster in some ways. While Ryan Bird and his other teammates, they're not in the same Discord channel. So it is a lot for that Elite Apex of learn, get better on your own, and good luck as a team, which is an interesting thing to see. But that of Ryan Bird trying his best to get by the one of Brandon Colley right now.
Yeah, he's been working Brandon Colley for the past good 10 laps here, Sam, and he still hasn't figured out how to get around him. He gets right up against him. Look how you see he's trying to pull him back there with the side draft. And apparently he gets on the inside of him, but you can see the power on the outside. Brandon Colley says, "Oh, no, you don't, sir. I'm going to try to keep you right in bay here." And it looks like, you know, he's going to pinch him down a little bit. And it looks like he's going to hold that position. But, you know, Bird is going to fight on his way back, going down into the backstretch, going into turn 3, trying to make that pass. And we'll see if he can finally make that clear. But I don't know. I don't see the low line making it. But I could be wrong here, as he's really working it hard there, Sam.
He is working it extremely hard, and we're now missing a driver behind this group. That's the 0-1, Eric Kralik, doing a very aggressive undercut pit stop. Joining him just a few laps before, Thomas Walter, very aggressive on this undercut, trying to build a gap. And this is one of those strategies where you need the race to stay green until it cycles through. Then it need a quick yellow when you have that lead position. The 0-1's trying a gutsy call, and we'll see if it works out. But the 0-1, one lap down currently, is again needing this race to stay green. We're expecting these drivers, they could still go another 15 laps on fuel and tires. Question is for our leaders, what will they decide to do? As for the lead, there is going to be some decisions being made as Johnson gives up the opening, and here comes Vincent Sora for the lead.
Wow, what a power he did, you know. That was a power move. He just went right underneath him, took the lead from Brian Johnson, his teammate, on the inside. Earlier, he went past, Larry there in third position on the outside. So right now, this 15 machine is starting to build the momentum again, Sam. And we've seen this over and over and over this season. He is a robot right now, and this car is just fitting his driving style. No matter what track we go to, he's just got this thing down.
I mean, Vincent Sora, first 2 seasons with WSSR, he becomes one of the most winningest drivers. Got into the top 3 almost immediately with the most wins ever. And if he wins here tonight for that of Vincent Sora, he will tie Brian Johnson with the most wins ever in WSSR history with 14. And tonight is looking like a good one with this 15, the way that he looks in that of the early portions and on the long run. He's just found a great balance so far, as Larry Yingling's still trying to find that balance, as well as that Brendan Colley, who's fallen back to 5th place. I mean, he certainly is an alien, this 15 machine, the way that he drives.
Well, yeah. And what gets me here, Sam, is that he's actually literally starting to pull away from Brian. Like, you would think you're getting out, and yeah, now he's got that clean air, which is going to help him big time, right off the bat there. He's going to be able to move that car around the track wherever he wants to without worrying about the dirty air. But he has not slowed down. His pace time last time by was a 37.12 compared to Brian Johnson's 37.29. So he's already a 1/10 to 2 to 3/4 tenths faster than the top 5 guys.
Crazy to see the 15.
Getting
how
faster.
quick he is. I mean, he really is getting just faster and faster each lap. The fastest car on track is the 15, but more drivers coming into pit road and exiting. Here comes James Kaufman. Kaufman is going to be one of the few times that he's going to have fresher tires than the leader and able to try to ruffle the feathers of Vincent Sora as the 25 trying to enter the fray. As he's trying to make this move, you see them in our top left currently. That's Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack, one of the main sponsors here at the WSSR Roast Gems Cup Series. And if you'd like to go get yourself some high quality that stainless steel gloss artwork to put around the house, maybe put around an office to show off either an important picture, meme, or more, go on over to trophysmack.com and go to WallSmack. WallSmack is a very customizable and not going to be hard on the bank image that you can get again on a high gloss metal sheet that is customizable fully to your wantings, and it also comes with its wall-safe magnet mounting system. It allows you to place it on the wall or anywhere you want. Plenty of drivers have gotten their victories and got their victory cars with the wall smack, so go get yours today. Remember to use the promo code WSSR Cup. That is WSSR Cup to get yourself 10% off on any purchase at Trophy Smack.
Sorry, I was looking at something there, saying I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just watching Vincent Sora deal with a lap down car that just made a pit stop with Jane Kaufman there. And I was kind of worried. I was like, you know, you got to be careful here now, Vincent. You know, this has happened to him in the past where a lap down car racing side by side and something bad happened. And it has happened to him, and it has bit him in the butt. But this time it's all clear. James gets around him and, you know, moves on up and keeps sailing with his fresh tires. But I was just paying attention as you were giving that sponsor readout there.
Well, what's funny about you bringing that up, it was actually here at Twin Ring, but it was the GP race where Vincent Sora was clobbered by that Richard Wolsifer that took away the opportunity for 15 to win at that race. So we're bringing back some bad memories of the Twin Ring Motegi for Vincent Sora, but more drivers coming into pit road. Brian P. Johnson, Brandon Colley, Rich Jameson, all into pit road, and you do not want to make a mistake at this point. With little mistakes you can get speeding into pit road, and that is going to give you a 40-second hold or having a poor entry, a poor exit. Plenty of different ways that you can lose time and gain time as more drivers into pit road. Larry Yingling as well as Zach Hall and more into pit road.
Got everybody more coming down pit road here. We'll see when Vincent Sora is going to decide to make his pit stop here, Sam. But this should be the final pit stop here, barring any cautions. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens there towards the end of the race here. But this is your final pit stop. You got to make it happen and save your tires and see if this all works out. Because right now the race is showing green flag racing, and it's not too much action going on out there. Just everybody riding your thing. So it's all going to come down to your entry, your pit stop, exiting, and all that can win a race and it can lose a race. So we're still waiting for Vincent Sora to come in, though.
Yeah, still waiting on Vincent Sora as well as Tyler Dangler. They're going to be the next ones to come into pit road. Tom Sinchek just entered into his box to get his service done. 15 of Vincent Sora can still be out there for another 7 more laps. I think that's the one thing that we got to keep note of. He might be just deciding to push it as far as he can go to make sure he's got the best tires, and it could be an option of Vincent Sora feeling like he's got enough time to run down the rest of the field as Tyler Dangler comes into pit road for that the 19.
What was that? I don't know if you want to go back, but coming out of turn 3 and 4, Tyler was pitting and Vincent Sora literally slowed down to almost came to a stop.
No, that's just how slow these drivers have to go through 3 and 4. It's crazy how fast they are going through the corners, but it almost looks and feels like a standstill. With how long Vincent Sora's been out there, that's what he's dealing with.
Okay, but I was on board with and he literally shut the motor off or did something. Because, I mean, it sounded like he got off the gas, and I don't know if he was going to make a pit stop and decided, nope, I better go one more lap. Because that's what it sounded like. He was slowing down to make a pit stop and then got too late into it because the Tyler was entering pit road, and he's like, you know what? It's not worth it. Just do one more lap. That's where my brain worked at, but...
That potentially could have been a factor there on what he's doing now. Getting to pit road is the 15, and going to be on lap 91 for himself.
Lap 91 here for Vincent Sora going into pit road. Brian Johnson is going to inherit the lead here as he goes around here. And we'll see how this all plays out. You noted on it earlier, Sam, you know, you can go green all the way, and this is going to be the pit stop. Now they got to make their early pit stop because right now, that early pit stop by Aaron Crawley really didn't work. What are you seeing there, Sam?
Vincent Sora coming out of pit road drove a little bit too close to the inside wall. I don't think he hit the wall, but almost clobbered it, exiting his box. A little awkward for the 15, and with that little bit of a stutter on missing the time that he wanted to come in, like you were seeing there, Robert, Vincent Sora dropping all the way down to 4th position, almost 4 seconds off of Brian Johnson.
Yeah, that pit sequence was bad, but that didn't work out for him. First day, I think he wanted to pit and missed his pit and decided to go another lap and really lost a little bit of ground there, probably about 6/10 just on that little hiccup. Then he has that hiccup exiting pit road. Yeah, like you said here, he's 3 seconds now behind, running in 4th position here with Aaron Kralik right behind him. Now he's got to try to make up all that ground. And the question comes now, Sam, is how aggressive do you be? We know he's fast, but do you be more aggressive to try to make up at least two seconds? Because he's going to have to make this up now.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to lose time either way with him staying out. Probably was planned just 2 laps longer than everyone else. Instead, had to stay out an extra lap. That forced him to be 3 laps out further than Johnson or Colley. And Colley was one of those drivers that was hoping he was going to gain a little bit more time in the win machine. Larry Yingling came in the lap after the 28 and the 1, and Vincent Sora stayed out the longest. And I think for Vincent Sora, he knew he was going to give up time. I think he understands he could make this up very easily. All he has to do, stay patient, let the race come to him, and each driver that's in front of him, make the pass immediately. Don't waste time, because this race could go away very quickly. 40 laps to go, and as Vincent Sora makes the charge going forward, Brandon Colley's hoping somehow to keep the 15 behind him. We will take our final commercial break. When we come back, we'll take it to the very end here in Japan. It's the WSSR Road to Gems Cup Series here tonight. Thank you for joining with us on your Saturday night, as we will be right back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Will Vinny win again, or will we see someone else? They're splitting, and it's a complete mayhem.
We have a wreck at the front. 19 goes down into the 7, takes out the 00.
They're 5 wide behind for fifth. Oh my, the 5 wide here. This ain't gonna work, is it? They're already wrecking into turn 1, and now coming through that at turn 2. This is it, the Daytona. Oh no, the wrecking contact. Sets gets into the wall. Gonna be scattering on the outside. Drivers on the apron. Drivers coming out of nowhere. Edison on the outside trying to get the win. And it's William Edison stealing it at the line.
Into the wall. The 18 trying to block. 77 to get into the 18. That leaves 3 of TJ Roberts. 17 to Gavin Rogers. 3 of TJ Roberts is going to steal the win here.
But second fiddle so many times last season. Christopher Wade wins the season 5 Daytona 200.
You wanted the best, you got them for a rest. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing will be available September 27th. Pre-order your copy today.
I think I watched Josh 3 or 4 times before I ran the car. He killed them every race, and it was like stout fields, like good cars, big races, and I mean, he was unbeatable. And I was like, oh man, this is, like, I'm nervous. I was so nervous getting into the car full time this year after watching Josh win 3 or 4 races straight. These cars, they have a lot of horsepower now. They have over 500, and I think 5 years ago they didn't have 450. They're gonna be a handful to drive, but just don't overdrive them. Let the car do the work.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we are under some weird conditions right now with the broadcast. We're hoping that it will get cleared up. Currently, right now, it is a 3-horse race to win here tonight. But Johnson going to be the one driver that's a sitting duck. Fresher tires are around him. Larry Yingling has been patiently making the catch up in the pass. Vincent Sora a little bit more aggressive. Sora with the advantage on tires, and it's that of a 3-lap advantage over Larry Yingling, 4-lap advantage over Brian Johnson as the drivers are ramping their way through. This is what some other drivers are dealing with deeper in the field, but this race, it is down to the 3 drivers that have won so many times this season. One trying to defend defend the winning list and have the number 1 wins ever, Johnson. Larry Yingling 3rd, trying to catch up. Vincent Sora about to make the pass for 2nd, but here is what's going on in 4th place. Without a Brandon Colley, able to hold off for now for Ryan Bird, but Bird trying to fight back. As we are hoping, we think that the internet might have survived so far, as we are still watching on how things are going to be continuing on. Again, Robert is dealing with a thunderstorm. That is why you're seeing a little bit of the glitching happening. We're hoping that we'll get fully cleared up by the end of this race because it is looking like a classic. Larry Yingling leading the way, Vincent Sora in 2nd, Ryan P. Johnson in 3rd. Johnson now just gets to watch as that of Larry Yingling trying to hold off the kid. Vincent Sora has been so good, and Robert deeper in the field. Ryan Bird trying to get by that of Colley.
He's trying to get by him, but we'll have to see as we move back up here to the lead. You know, you just were talking about it as I was looking at some stuff here. Larry finally made that pass on Vincent there, Sam.
Yeah, that he certainly has, as he's trying to get this pass done. Vincent Sora, again, just settling in. It's going to be a patient route. So we're coming up to 20 laps to go. It is between these 3. And we'll see if things happen. The last time we threw out this phrase, the Banana Republic flag came out, but
I'm not saying it.
There is a chance of a caution to come out. It could change everything here.
Where's Christopher Norris at?
Oh my goodness, it almost happened. Kaufman, Tyler Dangler had his shoes.
Oh man, do it again.
Tyler Dangler is slow and heading to pit road. Kaufman continues the race. Rich Jameson is upset over the radio with Kaufman. 3 drivers in a very upsetting mood. And a caution almost strikes, and now the battle for the lead. Vincent Sora to the inside of Larry Yingling. He's going for the pass to be made. But again, 20 laps to go. Chance of a caution still out there in the air. If we stay green, Vincent Sora looks to be the favorite, but plenty of other drivers want to see this yellow badly.
Yellow badly, and like you said, we almost had the commentator curse there. And unfortunately, Tyler Dingler got a broken toe link. But as that was happening, now we have Vincent Sora battling here with Larry, and I don't think Larry's gonna give it up that easy. And unfortunately, right now, Vincent Sora is just on another level playing field here, ladies and gentlemen.
Fresh tires, and the 15 is gone. And we were curious. I mean, Robert, you even brought it up. You noticed it. And the fact that Vincent Sora, maybe he wanted to go into pit road a lap sooner than he wanted to. Saw the 19 come into pit road, and it's jacked up when that Vincent Sora wanted to come in, forced him to go an extra lap. And we thought maybe that was going to be a hurting moment. And I think it might have helped the 15 even more because he's still got fresher tires than the other 2 by quite a big margin here based on how the tire wear has been looking like here at Twin Ring Motegi. 18 laps to go, and Sora is taking off. But if we fall back to that 4th place, that Colley under fire from Brian Bird once again.
Yeah, and this has been like this for, good 15 laps now in this stint here, but the previous stint too, Sam, it was like 10, 15 laps where Ryan Bird would be all over him and just pressure him. And finally he did, make that pass, but, we are down to 17 laps to go, and Brian Colley's not going to lay over and let him go by as easy as he did the last time. So Ryan Bird's got to try to do that same trick that he did before. Get on the inside, going into a turn, use the side draft, pull him back a little bit, and then work on going down into the next turn. As you can see, he's trying it, but he's just too far back right now.
Too far back with 49. Will you find that little bit of extra speed as the run continues on? 16 laps to go. Tyler Dangler is into pit road after that damage that he's dealing with, and going to be required damage for himself. But Ryan Bird to the inside. Can it stick? You see the bumps. They're aggressive there as the 49 really just trying to hold any speed he can. Collie to the outside. Well, he has to back off. He gets into the wall for the one, and it's Ryan. That's going to be seen down Ryan Bird having the nose down into turn number 3.
And he did exactly what he did the last stint, Sam. Got down up underneath him and, used that side draft and pulled him back and powered his way around. But Brandon Collie, like you said, he got into the wall. That definitely helped Ryan Bird there to make that pass a little bit easier. And now Collie, as he's got to try to calm down and work his way back through it. Even a top 5 finish though here, Sam, it's a pretty good finish for him in points wise and things like that. But as we are finally getting some sunshine here, the thunderstorms maybe are rolling out of Motegi.
Yeah, I mean, Twin Ring Motegi might be clearing up, but we hope for the clearance to stay in your area if possible, as that of Brandon Collie. I think the one thing that the one machine has to be in fear of is he's going to be trying to go for the pass once again, but Tom Sinchek as well as Zach Hall are closing in quickly. The 8 was the fastest driver on track before the pit stop started up back that of 30 laps ago. And this 8 machine is closing in on these 2 that are bickering back and forth. Ryan Bird as well as Brandon Collie. One of them could be bounced out of the top 5 because of this 8 machine.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Tom Simchek can do if he can get him within the next 14 laps. But we talked about this guy earlier in the race and the roasted gemmed coffee machine here of Cedric Hunter. Really shocked that we have not seen him move up through the field. He's just been laying right around 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, in that general area all race long, Sam.
Yeah, the speed has just not been there for the 13. I think it also could have been a lack of practice coming in. A lot of these drivers did not get the quality amount they wanted, didn't really get to understand the draft fully, and for that is Cedric Hunter. Coming away with a top 10 finish, not the worst thing in the world, especially on the fact that these drivers are under the understanding that the playoffs, way more important than this race. The playoffs are going to be a lot more of a traditional racetrack that we go to here tonight. Not a very traditional racetrack that drivers go to in most stock car series, and it's been a pleasure to watch these drivers race at this track, but I think Cedric Hunter much more excited for when playoffs come around.
Oh, most definitely. Once the playoffs come around, he turns into a different driver here. But, we'll go back through the rest of the field here and watch out Aaron Kralik right now, 17 seconds behind. Did that very, very aggressive early pit stop, Sam, on lap 77. 20-lap difference on tires here. I think he thought maybe it'd work out a little bit better than what it did, but still a top 10. Not nothing to shy home with, hey, top 10's a top 10. Come back here to Richard for Rich Jamerson here. Again, can't wait for that podcast to come out. Very great interview I had with him. And he's back here running in, 10th position here, top 10. I know he'd be happy with that, run that he's having here right now. And we come back here to Christopher Norris. Thought that maybe he'd be up a little bit through the field, but again, he's just back here running, doing his thing here, ladies and gentlemen. And we still got Bob Skinner here plugging away, looking good. He's got Zach Hall right behind him here with Bob Skinner running in 12th position. Thomas Walter is going to be 1 lap down, running in 13th. And then we seen James Kaufman here had that little scuffle with Tyler Dingler that Sam thought maybe he would jinx the race and bring out a yellow like I did, but it didn't work. Dang it. Well, I guess I'm not going to say it. Maybe we'll have a yellow there with 10 laps to go. And then we go to James Hackworth Jr. back here running, having a good run, top 15. And that's going to run through your field here, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to move back up here to Vince Sword. 9 laps to go here, Sam.
Well, I'm chuckling because battle for 4th place is on. It's Collie getting swamped by late Apex, and they almost collided when you said there maybe there'll be a caution.
Oh, man,
so
really?
the teammates got to be careful around one another. Tom Sinchek obviously trying to make the charge. Ryan Bird losing touch of Collie for a quick moment, and Collie able to stay in 4th place, but the teammates, communication could be key on where you want to be between them. as the 8 trying to settle in. 8 to go, and Sinchek wants a top 5 finish, and they're closing in on lap traffic. They've got to be careful as they're right on top of that of Christopher Norris.
Hey, kind of right, but Christopher Norris going to do the right thing there. Get out of the way, and just let these guys battle. There's no point. They're already a lap down. You might as well just let it go. As we're watching the late Apex teammates here trying to catch Brandon Colley, that did fall back a little bit with Ryan Berg getting around them, and then he worked his way back around top 4 position. So good run for that number 1 machine here, but we're down to 8 laps to go here with the WSSR Cup Series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, brought to you by Roasted Gem and Trophy Smack, and great sponsorships they have there. So.
Yeah, I mean, Trophy Smack, one of the better ones that you could be grabbing, especially in the fact that Trophy Smack, plenty of selections on trophies and items to be giving away to people. If you're looking to get yourself a championship belt, if you're a fan of the WWE or other sports that love to have championship belts, or get yourself a championship ring or a trophy, or even get your own photo on that of a stainless steel high gloss sheet of metal, go on, get a wall smack from Trophy Smack. Plenty of great products, and remember to use code WSSR Cup to get yourself a 10% discount on any purchase at thattrophysmack.com. And there's the Trophy Smack machine. It got the big sponsor that of working with this company, Robert, and I still think it's wild looking back at Daytona and the fact that Trophy Smack got the incredible win first race after partnering up with WSSR.
Yeah, not only that, they had the Trophy Smack where everybody started talking about this Trophy Smack wall moment and smack moment, and a trend started. Somehow, a trend started here on Freaky Fast with Trophy Smack, but yeah, like you said, what's the odds of that? The 28 Trophy Smack machine, nice paint scheme there, repping their sponsor here, Brian Johnson, and you know, he's carrying them logos very well, and you know, Brian Johnson got one of them wall smacks, Sam, and showed us pictures, and got it delivered. And also, Wolfesser got one too from his dad. But so cool, they actually showed it on their Twitter how they made the image and the step by step and blah blah blah. And very interesting. It was awesome to see how they do that.
Yeah, it's incredible to see how they make the wall smack, as well as plenty of the other products that they have at Trophy Smack, as Trophy Smack was a product that was pitched for anyone that watches the Shark Tank, and it's crazy to think how iRacing, starting up a league with just a bunch of friends, allows you to work with some of the big-time companies out there. It is so great to have them, as right now, Vincent Sora, 4 to go, about to make it 3 to go. He is pulled away, checked out, call him a tie. He's going for that tie right now, Robert. He wants to be tied with the all-time win record, and tonight could be doing it with 14 wins.
And that's nothing to shy away from either, Zach. Sorry, Sam. You know, tying for the all-time win, you know, it doesn't come easy. Right now this season, Vince has been on another rail here. We all know that, watching, every Saturday night. But it doesn't mean it comes easy to get those wins. He's got to battle and do strategies and work around traffic and race the car and race the track yet. You know what I mean? So, congratulations to him on getting that, tying that record right now. And as we roll into next week, I'm not sure what track we're going to next week, Sam, but we can touch on that later here on after the post race. But 2 laps to go. We're getting ready to get that white flag there, Sam.
2 laps to go for that of Vincent Sora. The kid has been in a different world, and after joining up with Zach Hall, Brian Johnson, Brandon Colley for that of Category 5 almost a year ago, as we hit that of the Roast Gems Coffee white flag, it has been a crazy journey to see this kid. He was already crazy fast before he grouped up with those drivers, but he's learned, he's evolved, he's gotten faster in every season that they go to. The kid puts in more practice than most drivers, and it shows. And here tonight, he's got 2 more corners to go through 3 and 4. Vincent Sora, he aimed for the record books with the rookie getting a championship 2 seasons ago. He got his second one last season, and tonight, tied with the most wins in WSSR history, Vincent Sora, win number 3 this season and 14 in the record books.
Wow. So the record is 14, Sam?
14.
Wow.
He is tied with the man who's going to finish in second place, Brian Johnson. And Brian's got to be thinking, man, this kid joined my team. It's kind of a Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson type of thing. With that of Brian Johnson. He was so good. Thought he was going to go for more championships. He brings in a kid onto his team who now is outshining them.
Yeah. Very, very well said, and very well, taken to one of the Hall of Fame NASCAR drivers, Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson in their day and age, when they were just dominating and winning races for, and then Jeff Gordon retired, and we know what Jimmy Johnson did, going to the future here. But congratulations. I mean, that is the feat. And what I was going to go back to as he's burning it down is 14 wins for 2 drivers, Sam. Will one of these drivers win next week to put themselves on the top with the 15 wins of all time here at WSSR?
I would say Vinny, probably the favorite going into next week. Pocono, the tricky triangle. Vinny has done it before. Will it happen again? We'll have to find out as we get to see the 15 burn it down. We will step aside. When we come back, it's the post-race show. And let's take a look at this. It is the TrophySmack.com winning moment from Vincent Sora tonight. What a night for the 15 machine. Next week could be his win number 15. But we'll be back for the post-race show. We'll talk to our top 2 and the Spotlight driver after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WSSR Roast to Gems Cup Series, race number 7 here at Twin Ring Motegi. And it's the driver that has been winning and winning and winning. It's Vincent Sora, third win of the season, 14th career, and tying the record books of the most wins ever in WSSR history. We got the 15 machine with us, Vincent Sora. Vinny, congratulations on your win here tonight. Man, how are you feeling after that one?
I feel pretty good, especially since it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since I've talked to you guys. I haven't even gotten the top three in a little bit. I feel like I've blown 2 wins at Nashville and then last week again. Because Nashville I just didn't save fuel properly and just gave up all my track position. And then last week I wrecked myself on a restart. And I had winning cars both weeks. But I guess this is redemption because I didn't think I was gonna have a winning car tonight, and I ended up being pretty quick. The first run I just learned a lot. I was surprised that I won the pole, and then Larry gapped me, and I just sat behind him, and I was kind of just trying to figure out how the car drove, and figured it out pretty quick, and I was able to get around him, and then the rest was history.
I mean, Vinny, that was something that Robert and I were touching on. It seemed like that quick caution on lap 30 really gave you as drivers that maybe needed that caution kind of as a stage break to allow you to learn a lot. We saw it. I mean, it seemed like yourself, Brian, and also Larry Yingling really found speed there late in this run. But we see from our point of view on Discord, you typed in you ran out of fuel. What was that situation coming to the end of this race?
Yeah, well, I actually messed up my pit entry on my green flag pit stop. There was a lapper in front of me, and I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to pit, and then they came down pit road, and I changed my mind, and it was my own fault, and I ended up slowing down, but then not coming into pit road, so I was like, well, race is pretty much over here, I feel like, and then I took a shorter tank of fuel, and that's why I ran out of fuel trying to do the polished victory lap at the end.
Well, you still got the win at the end of the day, which is what matters. We're heading to Pocono, Talladega, and the Roval, and as well the United States Speedway to finish out the regular season. With those upcoming races, how do you feel like you're going to be able to perform to go for more wins or at least get momentum setting up for the playoffs?
I feel really good. Pocono has been a track for me that I've been really successful at. I love that place. It's kind of like Indy, and I guess in some ways, kind of like this track here tonight. So that should be fun. Talladega is just anybody's race, but hopefully I can get some help and have a race not like Daytona. I can hopefully get up to the front and maybe contend for the win there. And then I think you said the Rovals after that. And I love road courses. I've never actually no, I've done one league race on the Roval before, and I think I finished second or something like that. I don't think I was super quick, but it's been gosh probably 3 years. So I'll run some laps there and figure it out and hopefully contend for another win and pass Zach for the points lead.
And we're excited for it. Vinny, congratulations on your win. And before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, just everybody that showed up tonight. Big thanks to all of the guys that keep the numbers up here. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Brian for racing me hard and clean there at the end. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting and everybody on my team at Category 5 Esports.
Well, that's going to be the 15 machine of Vincent Sora winning here tonight. Congratulations and good luck next week at Pocono.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
As we go for victory lane, let's go talk to second place finisher. It's going to be the driver that Vincent Sora is now tied in the record books with 14 wins. We're here with Brian Johnson. Brian, congratulations on second place. Your teammate has found himself in victory lane quite a few times so far this season, but how are you feeling after that performance here tonight?
Man, a little bit disappointed in myself, if I'm honest. Was pretty fast the whole race, led a whole bunch of laps, and that last run I just messed up. Talking with Vinny a couple of things. I thought saving tire a little bit since I pitted first was going to be the better thing to do. I think in hindsight, should have pushed it, and then you know, kind of up until now, I mean, I learned something tonight is that the weight of the fuel matters more than the balance of the car with fuel in it. Typically you always want to take a full tank. That way the car doesn't get too tight. But I took a full tank. Vinny took not a full tank, and he was much faster. So I learned that tonight, so hopefully won't make that mistake again. But I had never driven this track before, and when I was practicing earlier this week, I felt like I was struggling a whole bunch, and so it was good to come out to this race and have some pace. I had in turns 1 and 2, I ran a little bit of a different line than everybody else, and it kind of worked in the first half. It didn't work as well in the second half of the race, but overall it's pretty good. It's a good finish. It's a good points night, but man, second sucks sometimes, and I got to get some more first because if Vinny wins 5 more times, he ties me for all-time wins.
Yeah, he's certainly on the charge for that of the 15 machine. And looking at the list, I mean, Brian, Vinny is certainly on the charge, but we know that you can perform well at some of these upcoming tracks. We got Pocono, Talladega, the Roval, and then a different track that we haven't gone to, going to the USA Speedway, but it's the playoffs where I'm looking at the schedule, and this looks like a very good schedule for yourself to go for another championship. How are you feeling trying to get that momentum to the playoffs?
Well, I think it starts next week at Pocono. Pocono's always been a really good track for me. It's a bit of a driver's track, so hopefully we can get a similar performance next week, maybe a win. And then Talladega, who knows? Hopefully we don't get wrecked. That's going to be the goal, is to not get wrecked. And then let's see, you said Talladega, and then I forget the other track, but USA is on there, and that's that'll be an interesting track. That's a track that everybody on iRacing has spent many, 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 many laps on. Don't see it with the next gens a whole lot, but I expect that to be a pretty good race, a fun race for you guys and for us. So yeah, and then the playoffs, it is a good track set for myself, but once the playoffs start, or really, I guess it's more of a chase now, but once the chase starts, everybody's going to be fighting tooth and nail. So there's going to be a lot less give and a lot more take, and that's how we're going to have to race.
Well, I can't wait to see how you guys get aggressive once the playoffs begin. Brian, before we let you go, though, tonight the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Well, definitely want to thank everybody who tuned in, and you guys for putting on a good show as always. And I got to thank all the admins over here that help run this thing, and all the drivers too. This thing would be impossible without all the drivers. And then especially Roasted Jim's Coffee and Trophy Smack. Always proud to have them on the car, and got them a second place finish, so that's pretty cool. And just got to thank our first responders. We're kind of thinking about them this week and everything that they do, and just want to give them a shout out as well. Anybody with family who's the first responder, and the first responders, thank them a whole bunch, and that's pretty much it.
Well, that is going to be the 28 machine of Brian Johnson. And Brian, the standings have been reset. View and Vincent Sora are now tied with wins at 14. Larry is third with ninth. So Vinny feels confident next week. You feel confident next week. And we might see a brand new person leading the leaderboards after next week. Can't wait for it. And good luck at Pocono next week,
Thank you, sir.
as that will be our second place finisher. Now let's head to our spotlight finisher, which is going to be the 49 machine of Ryan Bird. Ryan, it's Sam up at the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, you coming away sixth place here tonight. Biggest mover so far. And Ryan, with being the biggest mover, how was it trying to make passes? Because from our point of view, it looked tough.
It was pretty tough. That first run, I was able to knock quite a few of them off that I guess just got the tires a little bit hot, and I passed. I went from like 10th to sixth or seventh in a lap or two, just people overheating their tires. And then me and Brandon Colley raced the entire rest of the race for fourth and fifth. Uh, Ended up overheating my stuff at the end, but it was a fun race from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, touching on that battle that you had with Collie and also with Tom Sinchak, I mean, how was it trying to duel back and forth at a very unique track that we really don't ever go to in these stock cars?
Yeah, it was really fun. You'd set them up in one corner, and they sort of had the advantage on you the next one. And turn one was always just a big game of chicken. Whoever would drive in deeper would get to hold the spot, and you'd lose time in the center, but you'd have the spot. Um, I do need to apologize probably to Tom Sinchak. I didn't realize he was that close. I was so fixated on Brandon, and I went in turn three like normal, and then I looked in the mirror and he was right on me. So we both went up the hill that time. But other than that, it was great. It was fun.
They both survived, both going to be finishing in the top 10. Ryan, we've got ourselves coming to just that of 4 more races left in the regular season. Currently, with the points updated from tonight, you're going to be in that 10th place in points. How are you going to be trying to set yourself up in these next couple of weeks as we got Pocono, Talladega, the Roval at Charlotte, and the USA Superspeedway coming up?
Just gonna keep trying to do what I've been doing. Dega's the big question mark there. Pocono's fun. The Roval's gonna be chaos, but just gotta try and be consistent and up front, and then when the playoffs start, just see what comes. It's gonna be tough. These guys are fast, but it's gonna be a fun one.
Gotta say, Ryan, you're looking quick. I'm excited to see what you're going to bring once the playoffs come around. But for tonight, congratulations on 6th, and the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Oh yeah, shout out to my teammates, Tom Sinchek, Kyle Rochelle. I know Kyle had some trouble tonight. And my teammates from outside of this league, Aaron Kralik, Thomas Walter, Max Foner, Ryan Ferraro, and Dakota Moniz. Sorry if I forgot anybody. And thank you to my girlfriend for always supporting this stuff.
That's going to be the 49 machine of Ryan Bird. Congratulations on a top 10 finish, and good luck next week at Pocono.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, from our interviews with these drivers, certainly been a wild one as we get to take a look at the unofficial results here tonight. Certainly, drivers were hoping for some better finishes overall, but taking the top of the cake, going to be Vincent Sora tying the history books with 14 wins in total. But for this season, it's going to be his 3rd win out of the 7 races that he's ran. 5 top 5s, 5 top 10s with those 3 wins on top of that. But for Vincent Sora, he's still behind one of the most consistent drivers. That's Zach Hall. But Zach had his own recovery run. 2nd, going to be coming from that of Brian Johnson. Larry Yingling 3rd, Brandon Colley in the 1 machine 4th, Tom Sinchek 5th, 6th goes to Ryan Bird, who we got to talk to and be our spotlight driver here late. But Zach Hall, issues early in the first couple of laps, recovered, came back with a 7th place finish. Cedric Hunter, who we were expecting maybe a little bit more from, 8th place, still a top 10 finish. Eric Kralik, gutsy move, went with the extreme early pit stop, didn't work out the way he wanted. 9th place for the 0-1, and Rich Jamison finishing out our top 10. But drivers of note, calling it quits early. Kyle Rochelle, too much damage, couldn't finish out the race, as well as Ennis and Tyler Dangler. And drivers on the lead lap only our top 10. Crazy to see how this race finished out. I'm not sure if we have Robert back with us, but Robert, I know you came out of your bunker able to watch the race. You know, a little bit of glitches there late, but we got to see a fantastic finish of Vincent Sora getting into victory lane.
Yeah, it was a good race here. You know, he's got himself back into victory lane again after, like he said, the last 2 weeks of having it up and down. But what I take away from that interview you had with him, Sam, was that he took, you know, I thought he messed up entering pit road on that green flag, and he did. And he decided to take less fuel, you know, to make up that time that he lost, you know, with that little hiccup that he had, and then he ran out of gas. That would have been very interesting if we would have got another yellow out. Yeah, everybody would have made the pit stop, you know, but he could have not had everybody make a pit stop. Stay out. Some stay out. Where would have Vincent Sora shuffled back to? 8th, 9th, 10th position with the green-white checkered? That would have been very interesting to see, but unfortunately, we will not know, ladies and gentlemen, as that yellow did not come out, and Vincent Sora had enough of gas to take it across the start-finish line for a win.
That he did, getting the win for the 15 and Hill Capito. Race settle in. Yeah, you got the strategy right here tonight, but next week will the strategy be there for the 15 machine, or someone else might take the win? They're heading to the Tricky Triangle at Pocono next week. Excited to see how those drivers are going to handle that course. But for us here this weekend, thank you for joining us with Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're going to have tomorrow off, but we're right back to more broadcasting coverage here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, because Monday night, it's the start of the playoffs for the ISRC Truck Series. Excited for those drivers and how well they're going to be, you know, giving each other room, potentially not. Then going to be seen on Tuesday, drivers for the Full Send Racing Series get themselves set up for the end of the regular season. Just a few more weeks before their playoffs start out. Wednesday for the Wicked Racing League. They're just one race away from the playoffs. Who's in? Who's out? Wednesday, we'll give you that coverage. Thursday, Stars and Stripes. They've got their ARCA series, just a few more races as well before their playoffs begin. Plenty of different coverages throughout the week here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. So remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to let you know when we are live. But for here at WSSR, we're going to step aside. Thank you so much for watching with us on Saturday night. We will see you next week. Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. Who will have the win? Let's see it then. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, everybody.